Hi, I wanted to ask you a question today about singing with strain in your high notes. How we can start to try and avoid this problem that, to be honest with you guys, I spent years of my career struggling with. In fact, it got worse and worse to the point where I needed an operation a few years ago to fix a cyst I'd created through such awful technique. I don't know how I got away with it. Maybe I didn't really get away with it, but I come to the other side to tell the tale. And recently I was doing a song for a wedding with my band, and it was a little bit out of my comfort zone stylistically, I think it's fair to say. Very, very falsetto, very, very head voicey. And I think a few years ago, well, definitely I wouldn't have been able to do it. I simply would not have been able to do a reasonable version of this kind of song. And I wonder, it got me thinking, how do you feel about singing in a falsetto? If you worry about strain and tension in your voice, and one of the best tests you can do is, can I sing in falsetto? Can I actually sing? And I remember a time where I couldn't. I just couldn't get a note out in my higher range that was anything other than ridiculously powerful and over the top. So I want to ask yourself, can you do this? You can actually bring falsetto all the way down into your lower range. It's not high singing. That's a misconception that falsetto just means high. It tends to be where we hear falsetto, obviously, but really it's false. It's not supported. The chords are open and breathy and letting a lot of air escape, and there's no kind of engagement with the chords. That's what falsetto is. So we can sing falsetto. But if you try and sing all the way down, you may have seen this in other videos of mine, I mentioned it before, down into your chest range without sort of reconnecting your chest voice, it might be a good exercise for you to try and understand how to sort of lighten up your technique in the high range. And you might not want to sing songs that have that sort of style. It might be so far from what you do. You think of yourself as a rock singer or something like that. I'm saying to you, to help you get into that high range, what we all have to do is access our head voice properly and let go of the chest. So we should do that to the extreme. To try and find that part of our voice, we need to, in a mix and in a powerful way, we need to let go and find it in a soft falsetto first to get rid of that strain. So I ask you, please try just going, ooh. And what you might get is ooh, like that. You might get ooh, like you might not even know how to go in high. Like that. And we need to find ways, and yeah, I'm making stupid noises in front of the camera again. You need to find ways to get into that part of your range. And it takes a whole lot of letting go of the chest voice, which a lot of people really just struggle to do. Anything that's going to help you sing high up there. Yay! When I'm singing like that, when I'm up there, I've got to access my head voice because it's a mix. What are we mixing? We're mixing our chest and our head voice. We're mixing the resonance. We are mixing the blend of muscle balance on the chords to enable it to stay strong. That means a lot of that mix, half of it, more than half of it, is your head voice. It is a head voicey note. So if you're not letting the head voice be part of that sound, if you're just trying to do it all with your chest, of course it's not going to work. Of course it's going to be strained. But it's so hard to convince singers of this kind of stuff. They have no idea that that's what they're doing. It's really difficult to get you to let go of that strain. So try only really that low part is fully chest. As soon as we go up a little bit, we're mixing. We're already mixing. And as I've said 1,000 times before, and if you watch any coaches online, they'll all have different ways of trying to get you to do a similar thing here, which is blend into your head voice sooner than you think. Already there. It's going to be too heavy if I carry on. See how it's just floating? It's floating. It's not going like that. Used to. I spent years doing that in front of people, And that was nothing. I mean, I think personally the strain I used to sing with compared to any student I've ever come across, it was probably as worse than anyone. But I was doing it for 2 hours a night. I was doing it for 2 hours in the day and then 2 hours at night and then 2 hours the next night. I ruined my voice. It's not in the perfect shape, having had the operation. It's damaged forever, probably. I have to live with that. It gets weak. I can't shout loudly in a room with loud music. I can't talk to my band when we're setting up, when there's music on. I have to be careful. That's my reality. It's why I'm so passionate about it, because I wish I'd learnt this stuff before I started wailing in front of people. That's chesty down there. If you get that sense of it's reaching a ceiling, you're not transitioning. You're not letting it transition. Now, this involves some really delicate coordination on the chords, which you may struggle to work out for a long time, but it can be clunky and awkward and bitty at first, but you gradually get this smooth ability to transition perfectly in between the registers, and you can kind of flip from a heady sound to a heavy sound on one word as and when you please, and you get this fluidity in technique that allows you to express things dynamically, and that's what we're aiming for. But at first it won't be there. There's head voice in that. It's mainly head voice already. I've not got a guitar. I don't know what note I'm singing, but you feel that strain. It's telling you that you've got to try and work out how to let go. The difficulty be you'll get you'll flip straight away because we're not agile enough with the details to make it not do that. So it's like I was watching Tyler Wysong recently doing a video. I was watching Chris Lipe. If you've seen these guys on YouTube, fantastic coaches. Tyler Wysong kind of creates this sort of shape, does this sort of gesticulation where he's telling you to place it in this part of your face, which kind of goes, and I quite like that. I would often do things like this. You know, you're up here, or you're down here in chest, and then you're up here. He's doing a similar thing. We're all doing similar things. Chris Lipe was talking about crying into it and doing this sort of yelpy, getting this, you know, like a powerful sound, but using this little yelp of a cry to help you access that, because it throws you into your head voice and it puts it up here and it helps coordinate things. We need to try these crazy kind of sounds to help this happen for ourselves. And I want you to try doing a falsetto. See how easy that is for you, and understand that any mixy sound requires that falsetto coordination, that head voice, that it's part of the sound. It's a massive part of it. In fact, the chest is only holding on a tiny bit to give you that power. Hey, 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 hey. You know, you just cry into it. We've got to lift up there and put the voice into this part of your face. It lives above your top teeth, the roof of your mouth. It lives in this channel here and in your head. None of it can be trapped down here in your mouth, which is this chesty resonance. Oh, you get stuck. Oh, let go. Oh. And I want you to try these sorts of things. See how much you can smoothly go. Oh. Do like an ooh sound. Ooh. You'll feel the point where the resistance is, and it might be so subtle that you don't understand that it's actually a problem. Ooh. And you've got to try and give in to your head voice. I beg you and plead with you to play around with these sorts of sounds and see if you can find that relaxed falsetto as a way of removing tension, as a way of getting rid of that gripping onto the chest voice that we do so much. And I want you to try and give in to your head voice. I beg you and plead with you to play around with these sorts of sounds and see if you can find that relaxed falsetto as a way of removing tension, as a way of getting rid of that gripping onto the chest voice that we do so much. And I want you to try and give in to your head voice. I beg you and plead with you to play around with these sorts of sounds and see if you can find that relaxed falsetto as a way of removing tension, as a way of getting rid of that gripping onto the chest voice that we do so much. I'm looking at the audio here. I'm worried it might be slightly peaking, which is a real shame, but let's hope it's okay. The song I was doing with my band was Beyond by Leon Bridges, and don't wanna get ahead of myself, feeling things I never felt. It's kinda hard for me to explain a personality and everything. And see how I'm ending the of thing just on an sound. And everything. And you want to be able to flip into that light floatiness. Scared to death that she might be it, that the love is real, that the shoe might fit. She might just be my everything and beyond, beyond space and time in the afterlife. Will she have my kids? Will she be my wife? She might just be my everything and beyond. It's got to have that lightness to it. I wouldn't have been able to get away with that years ago. No chance on earth. But if I was to do it too heavy, I'm scared to death that she might... You see that dropping into chest too strong. Letting those notes there stay head voice, even though they drop below the bridge. Scared to death that she might be it. Nice and light, staying down there. La 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 la. Not giving in to it as soon as we're at a low point. Scared to death that she might be it. The old me would have done it like that. That the love is real. That scared to death that she might be it. Nice and gentle. It's a different kind of song to what I would normally sing, but I actually really enjoyed doing it. It was good on the night. Went really works really well. That is my lesson for today. It's a speech about letting the falsetto happen, giving into your head voice, trying to let go of this squeezing, grabbing that happens. And I didn't even talk about the larynx going up, and I didn't talk about all the tension extrinsically outside of your larynx, but internally, just too much chest is going to cause you problems. And we need to just give into that head voice. We need to give into that falsetto. So I want you to try these things. I want you to try and lighten up as much as you can to try and remove this tension and really buy into the idea that the sound is often trapped down here and you've got this ceiling. That's different. I'm putting it up there. I'm putting it into the nasal cavity. I'm putting it into this part of my face. It's up here. La la la, la la la. You know? La la la. See if you can do that. This is why we need to use cry. Ooh, ooh. Cry like that, whimpering, crying. And see if it helps the coordination. Use a bit of acting. Play on it. Play on that cry technique by just being a bit stupid. Ooh. I'm really upset. And see if it helps you get into that high range without any strain. Because from there, we can start adding the power back in a much more healthy way that's going to help you find that mixed voice that you want. As ever, the best of luck with your singing. I'm available. You can join me on Patreon, where you get my WhatsApp number and you can send me video clips, send me audio clips, and I will send you lessons back on WhatsApp, just quick fire tips, texts. Just I'm here as your coach, available basically. Or join me for lessons by clicking the link in the description at singingmatters.co.uk. And I just wish you all the best with your singing. Let's crack this. You can do it. I did it after singing badly for years, needing an operation. If I can do it, anyone can, because I was really stuck in my ways with some awful habits. So please see what you can do finding that falsetto, and I'll find you on the next video. Thank you very much.